Most men will be husbands. Becoming one is not too complicated. But becoming a good husband, that's a different cup of tea. Many men don't have good examples around them. Cheer up. The Bible does not leave you in the dark. This video will answer the question, how can I be a good husband? From the Bible. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos with short, easy-to-understand answers from the Bible to questions about sexuality and relationships. Love your wife. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Christ's love for his church went so far that he was willing to die for us. In the same way, husbands should love their wives so much that they are willing to give their lives for them. Nobody can love like Jesus loved, so it is impossible to reach the standard that the Bible gives us. This should make you realize you need to depend on the Lord daily to love your wife as much as you should. Understand your wife. The Bible says, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way. Though many men think it is impossible to understand women, if you are a husband, you are called to do your best to understand at least one, your wife. You have to listen to her. You have to ask her questions. You have to realize that her feelings work differently from your feelings. Honor your wife. The Bible says, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel. Because both you and your wife have a soul for eternity, you have equal worth. Because your wife is weaker than you are, you need to honor her in a special way to show you realize her worth. You also need to protect her. Feminism insists on obscuring differences between men and women. This leads to a loss of the realization that men need to honor and protect women, especially husbands, their wives. In the grind of daily living, the command to you to not be harsh with your wife is one of the most important ways to show the honor your wife deserves. Lead your wife. The Bible says, the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. In marriage, husband and wife each have their own role and responsibility. A happy marriage is a marriage in which you give loving leadership to your wife, seeking the best for her and for your family. Provide for your wife. The Bible says that a husband should nourish and cherish his wife. You have to make sure to provide food and shelter for your wife. This has, first of all, a physical dimension. Of course, your wife may earn money as well. But the primary responsibility is yours, that the two of you and your children, if the Lord has given them to you, have enough to live on. There is an equally important spiritual dimension to this. Make sure your wife is spiritually fed and sheltered as well. You should read the Bible and pray with her. And you should also be faithful in attending church together. Sleep with your wife. The Bible says the husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights. Now that's a biblical command most men are happy to obey. Yet this Bible verse shows that even in sexual relationships, you should be giving, not taking. Your emphasis should be on your wife's pleasure, not your own. Sexuality is celebrated in the Bible. See, for example, Song of Songs and Proverbs 5. But it is to be enjoyed within the borders that God has set for it. That is the marriage of a man and a woman. You are called to be always faithful to his wife. Having a wife is a blessing from the Lord. If you have received that blessing, honor God and honor your wife by treating her according to God's guidelines.